evening and a very warm welcome to your English news package with radio and television Tonga for the hour. Making headlines, the Whole House Committee has approved amendments to the excise tax regulations and the National State of Emergency COVID-19 2021 regulations. Her Majesty Queen Nanaspa will donate a new truck vehicle to the people of Mango, and the Tonga Met Services urge to the public to be better prepared for drought. Now with the stories in details. The Finance Minister Tongatapa Moimoi clarified the regulations to ban the import of vehicle models from 15 years ago or more besides buses, trucks or vehicles that are designed to carry cargo, and effort to decrease the number of vehicles in Tonga. Mark Ake with the details.
During the Whole House Committee's discussions, the Finance Minister, Honourable Tongatapa Moimoi, said that the government wants to ban the import of vehicle models from 15 years ago, besides buses, trucks or vehicles that are designed to carry cargo, an effort to decrease the number of vehicles in Tonga. This ban is under the excise tax regulations. AWA's People's Representative, Lord Nuku, said that if this ban serves to decrease the number of vehicles in Tonga, is there any concern about people being able to afford vehicles since they'll have to buy the latest vehicle models, which are expensive? The Minister of Infrastructure, 17 Tomaua, in response, said the ban not only serves to lessen the number of vehicles in Tonga, but also because it has environmental benefits. He emphasized that this is because vehicle models from 15 years ago and older only run for a short period, and it breaks down and builds up with other broken vehicles in junkyards all over Tonga. 16 MPs were in favor of the amendments to the Excise Tax Regulations 2021, with only one MP in disapproval. Amendments to the National State of Emergency COVID-19 2021 regulations were also approved. The House also approved Amendments 1 and 2 of the Criminal Offences Bill 2022 and other regulations.
The people of Mango Hawaii were delighted to receive a new truck vehicle donated from Her Majesty the Queen Nanaspa. Paula tells you more.
This one-ton truck is part of Their Majesty's Latu project, a reconstruction project for the people of Mango and Nuku'alofa who were severely affected by the 15th of January devastation. In an interview with Radio Tonga News, Reverend Kisena Toitu'u of the Mango Free Wesleyan Church says they started a community volunteer rubbish picking cleanup at the royal residence. As a result of their kind gesture, Her Majesty Queen Nanaspa purchased a truck in partnership with the Managing Director of Spare Parts Zone. During the handover ceremony, the people of Mango wore their newly made village uniforms, which were paid for by Her Majesty Queen Nanaspa. This one-ton truck has a personalized license plate with the village name Mango. Over 30 members of the Mango community were at the handover ceremony this morning at Pangailahi. However, the people of Mango are still living at the Free Wesleyan Church Hall of Longolongo and will relocate to Ewa once preparations of their new home are completed. Paula for Radio and Television Tonga News.
The Meteorological Services of Tonga is urging people to be more prepared as there will be less water received in the next 3 months. This is due to the small amount of rain recorded in the past 4 months. As such, Met Services are working together with the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Forestry in strengthening, empowering and reminding the people of the importance of preparing early access to crops that can withstand the drought crisis. During the television program, the acting director of the Meteorological Services of Tonga, Laite Fifita, said that they predict that the amount of the rain will be in the average or below the average in the next 3 months. The CEO of the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Forestry, Dr. William Manu, said that cassava is the only crop that people should consider growing during this time, as it can withstand the impacts of droughts. He added that people in the communities should combine their plantation or tautu'u so they can share their crops and help each other, especially widows and those who do not have males at their homes. Dr. Manu also said that people should know the different types of soil in their district and which crops can be grown there in times of drought. If also soil contains more water to distribute to their crops, while Hahake's soil is different. He says that during drought, soil at Hahakis, especially the village of Lapaha, can't grow taro or taro futuna. Because of this, he urges the people living in Hahake to grow Fijian cassava, since it can withstand the impacts of a drought. However, the Met Services advises people to use water more wisely during this time. Tonga's Police Commissioner Shane McLennan wishes to strengthen and empower all relevant stakeholders of the Ministry of Police to ensure the safety, health and welfare of the people in communities of Tonga.
The Tonga Police Commissioner, Shane McLennan, visited one of their key stakeholders, the Tonga National for Women and Children Center, to see firsthand the obligation and mission of the center as they work together with the Domestic Violence Unit of the Ministry of Police to assist victims of domestic abuse. McLennan says the work done by the center is very important as they are dealing with the health and welfare of the people. He hopes that Tonga Police and the center will work more closely together in tackling the problems of violence in Tonga.
I ask our police officers, particularly those in the front line, not just to sit back and wait for members of the community to come to us. We need to be being out in the community, getting to know the community that we are there to protect, and giving members of the community the opportunity to get to know us as Tonga Police, because we all need to be working together as a team. So be one with the community is what I ask our people to do. And the other one that's very important for what you do here is for Tonga Police to value our stakeholder relationships. So the Tonga National Centre for Women and Children is a key stakeholder, a key partner for Tonga Police, and to work on being a good partner, and helping you do what you do, and vice versa, you can help us do what we need to do. So it's a two-way street and it's a team game.
Meanwhile, the director of the TWNC, Eleni Latu, says this is the first time for the police commissioner to visit their center and they were delighted at his attendance. She added that the police commissioner helps them address the issues of domestic violence in Tonga, but also care for the safety of the center's staff, who are all women. McLennan says he knows that it is very difficult for the Tonga National Women's Center to secure funds and resources that they need for their work, but Tonga Police will always be there to support them.
The Director of Health, Dr. Sally Paula, is urging people to take COVID-19 precautionary measures in areas with large gatherings. Most measures and practices to prevent the spread of COVID-19 have been abandoned, like wearing of face masks, social distancing and good hygiene. The COVID-19 BA.5 variant has reached neighboring countries such as New Zealand, and with the borders recently reopened, there is a chance it could make its way to the kingdom. On Monday the 1st, borders were reopened to international commercial flights, with no need for a quarantine period for passengers, though arrivals must also practice precautionary measures. The Director of Health, Dr. Sally Paula, said that Tonga is currently dealing with BA.2, and if the BA.5 variant arrives at our border, it won't be severe to those who are already vaccinated. Tonga is currently in the orange light zone of COVID-19 restrictions, and the 4th booster shots are now available for the public, so they may boost their immune system and help fight the effects of the virus. He adds that the target population for the 4th booster shot are people aged 50 and above and other vulnerable communities. It is understood that people who have already gotten COVID-19 are still prone to contract the virus again from the same or another variant. And the chairman of the Transport Sector Board of Directors, Dr. Sonia Ngongokio, and the Board of Directors approved the appointment of Aloki Hakau Maineseni to the position of Chief Executive Officer of the Ports Authority, Tonga. The appointment of Maile was endorsed by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Public Enterprises, Honorable Boasi Mataelete, on the 28th of July 2022. Maile will now serve as the CEO of the Port Authority for the next 4 years, effective from Thursday, 28th of July 2022. This comes after his tenure as the acting CEO for over 3 years after the former CEO Moses Lavemai's contract expired in June 2019. Maile has worked for more than 10 years after joining the authority in 2008 as an accountant. Prior to this appointment, Maile was the Deputy Chief Executive Officer and Chief Financial Officer of the authority since 2010. Before joining the authority, Maile was an auditor at the Tonga Audit Office of the Auditor General. He was also a tutor in accounting and commercial law at Tupo Tertiary Institute. Aluki Hakau Maile was appointed in August 2021 to the National Retirement Benefit Fund Board of Directors as a Public Enterprises Member Representative. Maile was heavily involved in implementing changes at the authority, which saw the growth and strong financial position the authority has ever recorded over its 20 years history. He held extensive knowledge and experience in both public and private sectors, which equipped him with the required skills for the executive position of the authority as a public enterprise. Maile hails from Nomuka and Kolomotua and holds a Bachelor of Commerce and Administration, majoring in accounting and commercial law from the Victoria University of Wellington. He also possessed a New Zealand diploma in business from Tupo Tertiary Institute and is also a provisional member of the Australian and New Zealand Chartered Accountant. And that concludes tonight's English news package, but before we part, here's one final look at tonight's top stories. The Whole House Committee has approved amendments to the excise tax regulations and to the National State of Emergency COVID-19 2021 regulations. Her Majesty Queen Alaspa will donate a new truck vehicle to the people of Mango, and the Tonga Met Services urged the public to be better prepared for drought. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for your company. I'm Alice Dubo. Have a blessed evening.